Namaste. Today we are going to discuss the nature of the mind. You have very beautiful ideas on this in the Bhagavad Gita. So I would like to discuss this because it is so very important for meditators, for sadhaks, even for students to understand the nature of the mind, the ordinary mind, and how to better it. So these questions were put by Arjun to Lord Krishna, and you find the answers in the Bhagavad Gita. So you see, actually, if you observe them and see, they are questions of any one of us. Why is it the mind so restless? Why doesn't it sit quiet? Don't we ask these questions? Why can I not concentrate? So these questions he is asking. Please observe. Arjun says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Oh Lord, he's addressing Lord Krishna. I find my mind very, very chanchal, very restless. Pramathi, turbulent. Balavadridam, it is so forceful. Even against my will it goes. And tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Controlling it, I find, is as difficult as controlling the wind. A very strong wind, how do you control it? So the mind behaves like that. So what is the remedy? Then Lord Krishna says, Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Which means, undoubtedly, O Arjuna, the mind is very difficult to control, but you can bring it into your hands. How? Through abhyas, through repeated practice of self-control and vairagya, which means a certain detachment from this outward movement of the mind and the senses. So detachment and practice, these two are the keys to bringing the mind under control. Now in our everyday life, how does this apply? Practice. See, many of us, with the best of intentions also, we are not able to regulate life activities, isn't it? Many youngsters today lead very haphazard lives. I found this very closely when I was working with the IITs. They are nocturnals and their times are so very different that to bring a certain regulation in life activities is so very important to be able to practice yoga. At least do the same things at the same time every day so that your mind gets used to a kind of routine. So if you maintain the same times for sleep, for whatever you eat, for exercise, for studies, and then for your meditative practice, your mind will get used to it. So this is the whole point. And that is why the way to practice yoga, it starts with this, a certain amount of life regulation, bringing your life into a routine. And don't think that, well, I'll get bored as a result of it. No. When you repeat certain things, when you bring your life into a certain leveled kind of experience, a routine, then you will see your inner energies only increase. Because outwardly you have curbed the unnecessary activity of the mind and the senses. So, and of your motor organs also. So once you have brought these under control, a certain amount of regulation, you will see your inner energies, your vital energies only increase. So this state is important. That is why practice is important in yoga. To 1 or 2 days just sitting and you say, kuch nahi milta, I don't get anything out of this. Don't do these things. This is just being silly. Anything you can achieve if you just stick to it. If you repeat it, do it again and again. So this has been recommended, and vairagya, a certain amount of detachment. See, in youth, you will understand there is something called incentive salience, which means you can be chasing something which you know will not fulfill you because just it has become the habit of your senses and mind. It has become the habit of your thought and your senses to just pursue something which you have checked out and seen it will not give you ultimate fulfillment. It is just a diversion sort of thing. So then how to stop this? That is why detachment is required. When you know something is actually, it is a block, it is a obstacle to your progress, even in the higher life or towards your goals in life, you must show a certain amount of vairagya towards it, a certain amount of detachment, a certain distance. You can even show a certain amount of anger, just so that your energies, your senses and mind remain subdued and turn towards your goals, just for this sake. Not to harm or get angry on the other person, but just so that your energies remain in your hands. So this vairagya will save you from a lot of stumbling blocks in life, if you have it in you. And I think everybody has vairagya. Only you must make it clear to your mind that there can be all sorts of obstacles in the path of yoga, in the path towards your goals in life. And for that, if you show this level of detachment and inner seriousness, you can say, then things become easy. And this incentive salience, you will not suffer from it. Your mind will become convinced that there's no point in chasing something which will not give me fulfillment. So these two characteristics that is why described in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. What will come into your hands? Your own mind, through practice and detachment. Then Arjun asks another important question, which is also the question of many youngsters. They have asked me, and so I will put it in this video. Arjun asks Krishna that what will happen suppose I do not succeed in the path of yoga? Aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. What happens to a person who has strived but did not succeed in the path of yoga? Then Lord Krishna assures him, Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Look at the great assurance of the Lord. He says, O Arjun, Partha naiveha na amutra vinashastasya vidyate. Neither here nor hereafter will such a person be destroyed. Because, why? He is kalyanakrit kaschit. He has done so much of good. That is why his mind has turned towards yoga. And a person who does good, a person who has yogic tendencies, he will never come to any form of distress. He will never be destroyed. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Uski durgati kabhi hoti nahi hai. जो अच्छे कामों में लगा रहता है और जो योग को प्रैक्टिस करता है. So you see, this is a huge assurance. The doer of good will never fall into evil times. The doer of good will never be destroyed, because your own works, your own sanskar will save you. So please be rest assured that success in this path is a progressive purification within yourself and reaching the state of your own true being. There is nothing called being unsuccessful on the path of yoga. It cannot be. You see, when you are climbing mountains, even climbing downhill, going downhill is part of the climb, isn't it? Climbing down into the valley so that you climb the next hill. So don't consider that to be something which is not success. That is also part of going forward, going inward. So there is no destruction, and you must not fear durgati for a person who pursues the path of yoga, because he is a kalyanakrit. He is one who has done good works. That is why his mind is turned towards the path of yoga. There is no destruction for such a one. In fact, whatever he collects on his way, the knowledge he gets, the energies he gets, he will carry them forward in future lives. This is the assurance. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva shashvati sama shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashto bijayate. Suppose one has not attained the culmination of yoga, the state of yoga samsiddhi in this life, he will carry his karma forward. He will carry all these tendencies forward, and he will be born into realms of the righteous. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva shashve. He will stay there for long time practicing yoga. There are, according to the understanding in Hindu ethics and of course Hindu psychology, whatever your mind accumulates, it goes along with you, isn't it? So you will obviously attain to the realms of the righteous, and there you will continue your practice of yoga. Again, if you take a rebirth, if you come back to this world again, you will come into the homes of Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Bijayate. You will come into the homes of those who are pure and those whose survival needs have been met, so that they provide you with the means to strive for your higher goals right from the beginning. You will come in such well-established, well-groomed homes, or you may even be born into the home of yogis, of rishi-like people who are completely inclined towards the spiritual life. So this augments your spiritual progress right from childhood. So you will come in very auspicious surroundings if you have once developed these sanskars within yourself. You see, this is the important thing which Lord Krishna assures us of. You never lose these sanskars. Once you have created them, the yogic sanskar is the ability of your mind and senses to turn inward. Once you have developed this ability, it will go along with you. It will get you higher realms of existence, and if you come back to this world, you will come in the homes of the wise, the pure, and those who are striving after yoga. You will come into such company naturally so that you can pursue your spiritual evolution. So never fear what will happen to me suppose I do not attain the culmination of yoga. Let us remember this important promise which the Lord gives us. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. The doer of good never falls into evil times. Understanding this, the inner psychology of it, let us continue our practice of yoga. These are the really very, very invaluable messages of the Bhagavad Gita, which will help us build our lives. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.